yeah. The sound is coming out. Ah. Good morning. Good morning, you guys. I gotta shut this off. Hang on. I got stuff to talk about this morning. Good morning. Is anybody out there? Do you hear me? All right. Anyways, I'm a little late this morning. I've been, fighting with an ear infection. Yeah, how about that? And I haven't had one in probably, I don't know, 15, 20 years. Why this came out of the blue now, I have no idea. Spiritually, I have a sense that maybe I haven't been, setting some boundaries that I should set for my own mental well-being. When you allow someone to just dump on you and dump on you and dump on you and, complain and complain and complain and it's a friend, it's not a client. My clients are grateful and, when they come to me, they're looking for help. They're looking to, come here. They're looking to make their life better, so just like it is as though you would maybe go to a therapist, want answers, want to get to the bottom of it. We want to, come on, sweetie. Oh boy, they're coming right up in here today to get cozy. So, just, I don't want anybody to read anything into that. This is more of a personal connection, and where we, it's the same story over and over and over, and I know a lot of people are fearful right now, and, they feel like a tremendous amount of stress and a tremendous amount of pressure coming at them. And so I get that, but I think I let somebody make my ear sick. And that's on me, because I could have wrapped it up, right? I could have wrapped it up, and I know I could have wrapped it up, and I could have said, look, I'm going to go listen to some Beethoven or something, right? But yeah, so I'm going to show you. Look at the size of this pill. And take it. It's a trigger. I don't mean trigger like a emotional trigger. I mean trigger the horse trigger. Horse pills. So that's depleting my energy as my body's healing, right? So, but anyway, so that's kind of what's going on. Sorry I was late this morning. I was in the shower for a long time. It felt really good. Kind of revitalized me a little bit. Today we are experiencing a new moon in Aries. So, I know, love. So we might feel a little bit more energetically depleted. We may be experiencing something like that. And you know what? And here in the Midwest, it's very gloomy. So it's like, well, it's just par for the course, right? So, so this will be short and sweet today. But yeah, so we have a new moon today. So just allow that moon to heal you, to revitalize you, to regenerate you. And don't push yourself today. Don't do it. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. And you may end up frustrated or exhausted very easily as the new moon does its bidding to heal you, your mind, body, spirit connection. So this week, everything's going to be kind of status quo until Saturday, right? And then on Saturday, April 17th, we have, I've talked to you guys before about this. Trines are good, squares not so good, right? So we're going to have that dynamic all in one day, right? So the sun and Pluto are going to square on Saturday, which could create some frustrating energetic shifts. It could bring hidden influences, because Pluto's kind of all about the hidden and the underworld, right? So there could be things like that that are coming to light, and that could even be on a global level as well. So it'll be interesting to see what all transpires, like on that day, or with that trend, okay? And then on the same day, we have Mars and Jupiter that are going to trine. Trine is good. Trine is happy. So I think if your day starts out like a little bumpy or odd, let's just shake it off, right? Because there will be this other influence coming in later on in the day that's going to make everything bright. So Mars is energetic and athletic, and it, sometimes it gets a bad rap because it's like, oh, that's a planet of war, right? Yeah. Also the representation of the masculine, which is a nice thing. Like Venus is the representation of the feminine. So we think, okay, Mars is going to trine with Jupiter, which is the lucky lotto ticket of planets, correct? It doesn't do anything to harm or to create mischief or anything like that. Jupiter's like, when Jupiter shines on you, you get good news. You get good things coming. So it's that's like the big shebang this week to be mindful of and to take advantage of. Take advantage of those trends, Maybe fly under the radar when you're getting the aggravating weirdness coming up with the Sun and Pluto square, right? We want to just, and we don't want to participate in like gossip or anything like that. We don't want to do that. And later on that day, Mars and Jupiter are going to trine up, and they're going to make things magical. So that's Saturday. Other than that, we'll just kind of glide along, right, through the week. So, I wanted to talk once again. Once again, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here about what we bring voice to and how that's going to influence our mind, body, spirit connection, and how it will also can create illness, right? We don't, that's why they call it disease, dis-ease, right? So we don't want to employ that mindset, right? And we want to be mindful of who's trying to suck us into that, and this social media is a classic example of how, comments or posts will be made to gaslight and to get people to fight and argue. And with all these other health challenges going around, we don't want to lower our resistance to get sucked into childlike battles and things of that nature. Even if it gives us a platform to show how clever we are, right? What are we bringing voice to? What are we? How are we presenting ourselves in our community? You see what I mean? Are we casting negativity with words towards others that don't agree with us or haven't adopted our policies? Well, maybe, there's a reason why people feel the way they do, okay? We're not going to change their narrative no matter how much we try to take them to the mat, and the verbal dance floor of whatever that is, right? That's embedded in them, and until they open their heart and their mind to other possibilities, you're wasting your breath. You are sucking yourself into the viciousness that isn't necessary, and you're compliant to that whole chain of events, right? So it's not what you want. So, our words. What words are in our vocabulary that we have put into the fixture, so to speak? Are we saying we just can't? I just can't. Is that a running theme with you? If you can't, I just can't. Okay. All right. Well, then you're restricting your movement. You're restricting your fluency. Are you bringing voice to things like, I don't want to get, I'm going to say the C word, you're going to figure it out. It's not that C word, it's the C word, because I won't bring voice to that. I won't give that word any power. I'm afraid I'm going to get the C word, lumps and bumps and growths. You get it, right? I know, talking in code this morning. The more you bring voice to what you're afraid of, the more you're apt to lower your defenses, lower your energetic field, and create illness for yourself. Also be mindful of who you follow, right? We want to be mindful of, is there a YouTube channel you follow that they're demonstrating hatefulness or anger or negativity, and they're talking my talk and blah blah blah. Okay, they're casting on you. Words are like casting a spell, and they're very powerful. So we want to be very mindful of how much of that we're digesting with our time and our energy, which is very valuable, right? So I just wanted to point that out to you guys out there. Keep scrolling. Don't subscribe to things that create anxiety or frustration or anger. Don't subscribe to narratives that single people out or demean other human beings. No, don't subscribe to that. Because it's not good for you, and you're going to start growing lumps and bumps, and you're going to start being challenged physically, and we need to, now more than ever, we need to be strong. We do. We need to be clear-headed and strong and adopt the humanitarian policy and support all energetic shifts, even ones we don't understand, okay? We've been taught since we've been very little that there are enemies and boogeymen out there that are going to get us and are going to eat our children and eat our pets or whatever. We've been taught this to strike a chord of distrust and fear and frustration, and basically fear's the biggest topic, right? All those other words are just a part of triggering humanity's fear, suspicion, and that kind of thing, right? So it's something you don't understand, maybe look into it a little bit more. Maybe the people that are have other, what's the word I'm searching for? Trends isn't really what I want to say, but they live their lifestyle, you know, differently than we do, okay? Oh, fine, right? Why do we have to veer in across the center line and go head on into that? You know, it's not doing us any good, you know? So anyway, I just want to remind you to be mindful of what you digest here in the ears, here in the mind. Open your heart, okay? Be mindful of what you're digesting right now. This side and that side and all that. How about we just broom that off the porch? Let's get the broom and sweep it off. We don't need to be tracking it into the house, right? Over and over and over again. It's not doing us any good. And I think if anything, this whole chain of events that transpired, it's almost like Mother Nature's put us in a timeout. Now, it's been a year and a couple weeks now, and everybody has their opinions of what needs to be done and blah blah blah, and I get it, and everybody senses a little deception, which I'm sure is going on, but you may be surprised that it's not what you think. But we, as a collective consciousness, are more powerful if we're not arguing, if we're not being divided and put in compartments and all of that crazy stuff. We are a much stronger presence than a few whoever's that claim to be in charge, right? So, but yeah, so that was kind of what I had a great Easter Sunday. I'm sure you did too. We had beautiful weather. Sat out on the deck with my family all day. I felt like I had downloaded a tremendous amount of spiritual vitamin D, right? As well as, a sense of renewal. And I'll be damned, by the end of the week, sooner than the end of the week, here I was in excruciating pain. Went to the walk-in clinic and ear infection. Now, I'm like 4 days in with my antibiotics, so it doesn't hurt anymore like it did, like on Wednesday. It was, and I, like I said, I can't remember the last time I've had one of those. It's just crazy. So, itchy nose. It could have, I'm allergic to oak pollen. I found that out when I moved into town. And maybe because the blooms were busting open, maybe that created a lot of wetness or, reactive things, and something just kind of settled in there. And on a physical level, right, I'm sure that's how that transpired. But I'm also very mindful that I allowed a conversation to continue and to continue and to continue this week that was based in fear with somebody I care about, that was filled with anger and frustration and, I just allowed that person to just spew and spew and spew and spew into me. Some of the stories were repeated, I've heard over and over. And on a spiritual level, I opened that portal for my ear to get sick. Right ear, right? Which is interesting because usually your left ear is your receiving side, right? And your right side is what you send out. That's why we shake hands with our right hand, right? As opposed to our left. So, obviously, I must have allowed that to kind of sit there, either because I was fatigued or whatever, and then I manifested that. So I don't want any of you getting earaches or or depleting your precious resources. So that's why I wanted to talk about what we bring voice to today, and to be more mindful of that, and not to get sucked in to these scenarios where we're purposely being gaslit to stay divided, right? Forget about that. We have to be peaceful here, and we have to be mindful of that here. And you're either reciting the same anxious narrative to an echo chamber with those around you, right? Or you're going to war with somebody that you don't know, and there's no reason for it. Or you're getting gaslit, right? So let's not partake in that anymore. Let's not do that. Let's stay well. We're coming around the bend. You know, we're getting bombarded with whatever the numbers are and blah, 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 and, you know, and we're just getting, it's almost like just being on a canoe on a creek and just dropping your paddles, your oars, and going, okay, well, we'll just let this take it wherever it's going to take me. I could take you right off the dam, right? You know, and crashing down like, you know, how you used to see in cartoons, right? It was like, oh no, Bugs Bunny is going to go over in a rain barrel and crash, and, you know, let's not do that. We're better than that, and we're smarter than that, right? And we know better. So, okay. All right, so like I said, we got a new moon today, so we want to take it easy, right? Maybe watch a movie if it's rainy where you are, or you know, if it's sunny where you are. I've got people all over the world, I'm finding out, that listen, and, you know, maybe just go sit and stare at the water for a while, rejuvenate your soul, rejuvenate your spirit, right? You want to do that? And set some better boundaries. You know, I had other stuff coming at me too, you know, with, well, you know, how long are you going to be sick for? How would I know? That's on me, because I didn't nip that at the bud, you know? And so I'm sharing it with you so that you guys will take better care of how you negotiate with others. And it's not complaining or scolding, because for whatever reason, these reactions coming in are based from somewhere, right? They're based from somewhere. And, you know, we can have empathy for these individuals that are fear-based or whatever. We can have empathy, right? That's good for our heart to practice empathy. But we don't have to have sympathy, and we don't have to be a doormat, right? When we know enough is enough. You know, that's what we you know, setting a gentle but firm boundary with any of that, with love. You know, that's how it's got to be done. Because the person or the circumstance that's attempting to gaslight you, that's exactly what they want. They want more fuel, so they want you to, you know, take your gas pump and fill that up, right? Not unless you paid for it. You don't get to pull up to my gas tank or my gas pump and just fill it up, right? Without any, no, you don't get to do that. Station's closed, right? We're done. Closed for the night. Self-care is key. Okay? All right. Well, like I said, I was going to make it short, because I have some other obligations I have to get to today. But I wanted to touch base, and I wanted to check in and see how you all were doing on this new moon, and remind you to take it easy today. And we're not out of the woods with all of this other stuff that's going on. So even though it's been over a year now, you get my, I don't have to say a word, right? You know, so we're not out of the woods, and so we need to continue to practice. Like in the beginning when I started doing these, I was like, well, you know, this is how I can contribute to my community, is like doing a little talk, you know, and my 11:11, which actually started at 11:13 today. But come here, love. But you know, then I start thinking, you know, it seems like we're on track, and I don't know if these are even necessary anymore. And yet, after all this time, we're still observing this same type of chaos. It may be in lemon flavor this week or chocolate flavor this week, whatever. This is still kind of a running theme, so I'm going to continue to do these. And to remind all of you that, you know, we need to... Oh, here, look who's been on my lap. Don't pay any attention. She always, look. She always talks like that. Look how cute. Look at her little pudding paws. Pudding paws, pudding paws. She was on my lap the whole time, but you couldn't see. Go lay back down. It's okay. Oh no, she's pissed off. She's a little goofy. She's a C-section kitty, bottle fed, 21 years old. So, all right, don't be bouncing around now. If you're coming here or not. No, come around this way. Let's go. Heel around this way. Come on, no, not this way. Come here. Come on. She's fine. See, Scout's here. What's going on here? What are you doing? You know, what is she doing? What are we all doing? Huh? What's going on? What's this strange frequency in the air? I gotta get to the bottom of it. Somebody's coming or somebody. I don't know. Anyways, like I said, I'm gonna wrap it up. I want to remind you guys, take your D3, right? Get with nature. A little hard when it's rainy and gloomy. I get that. But do it. Get with nature. That will provide you with the restorative, okay, resources that you crave, right? We all crave, you know. So immune boosting fuel, that's always a tongue twister for me. So immune boosting fuel. So be mindful of what you're taking in, you know, to keep you going during the day. And inner peace is key, you know, so make sure you're taking a little downtime every day just to breathe that in, right? Okay, self-love is key. Self-care is key. If in the immortal words of RuPaul, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else, right? Okay, all right, I'm signing out for now. Okay, so here we go, okay? What do? Mind, body, spirit. I love you guys. Self-love. You demonstrate this every day, okay? All right, okay. I'll see you next week at 11:11. Love to you next week.